Young black woman begged for her life for 16 hours straight, told the jail authorities, "I need medical help." They ignored her, said she was faking. She died. We have an update to this story. Audio released last month revealed 23-year-old Ta'Neasha Chappell begged jail staffers for medical assistance. Here's some of that.
Yes.
Need help.
What?
Need help.
What do you need help with?
My stomach.
What?
My stomach.
With your what? Your stomach?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to do unless you're coughing up something crazy. What's up?
I need to go to the hospital.
You gotta go to the bathroom.
I need to go to the hospital.
To the hospital?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I'm throwing a blade.
I know.
I'm throwing a blade.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm calling my sergeant. I spoke to the sergeant. He said that the nurse will see you in the morning.
I'm throwing up in my sleep.
What's your name?
Chappell.
Alrighty.
I need help. I need help.
What's up?
Do you not see that we got a naked lady on the floor in here?
Give me just a second.
Okay, I guess she's trying to get your guys' attention again. Who is? The black girl. What's she doing?
Well, if she needs something, she'll have to hit the button. Yeah.
Can you help me out of time?
Huh?
Can you help me out of time? I just need help. Can you help me, please? Okay.
She begged for her life, 16 hours. Not one person in the chain of command who are sworn to uphold the law, uphold the Constitution, to protect and serve. Not one person said, Miss Chappell has been begging for her life for 16 hours. Maybe we need to allow her to see a medical physician. Not one person. One person. This story has more twists and turns. In an exclusive video obtained by Wave 3 News, let's put up some of those screenshots. This is her in the cell. It's important we understand the systemic failures, the racism, the inequity, the bias, and the systemic oppression all involved in the death of a human being. She was laying in her cell room for hours in obvious pain, crying for help for 16 hours straight. She had on no clothes. At one point, she falls and she hits her head on the metal top bunk. They initially said, oh no, she almost hit her head. She collapses 4 times. They see this all on video. But her cries for help and other obvious distress, in her obvious distress state, were ignored. And they said that she was in fact faking it. For nearly 16 hours, Ta'Neasha Chappell pleaded with the staff of the Jackson County, Indiana jail for medical care. She repeatedly vomited blood, became dehydrated, requested several times to be taken to the hospital. But as Chappell's pleas grew more anguished, the guards on duty got more irritated. The audio recordings from the jail proved this. Chappell, 23 years of age, was in the custody of the Jackson County Jail in Brownstown, Indiana, about 50 miles north of Louisville on charges stemming from an alleged May 26 theft and high-speed chase when she died July 16th at a nearby hospital. And those SOBs that you heard on that recording are the ones who killed her. Or they are responsible for her death. In December, the prosecutor, Jeffrey Chalfant, declined to bring criminal charges against any of the jail employees for Chappell's death. A 15-page report by the Indiana State Police determined no one was criminally liable for her death. The attorney for the family provided the recordings from the jail in the hours leading up to her death. Most of the clips are Chappell imploring jail staff to help, though some involve other incarcerated women asking for help on her behalf. Even though Chalfant declined to prosecute, the attorney for the family hopes the recordings prompt federal officials to take a deeper look at the jail. Less than a month after her death, Joshua McLemore, also a prisoner of that same jail, died. He was released to a hospital August 8th and died 2 days later after being diagnosed with severe conditions, including low oxygen levels, deteriorating muscle tissue, and kidney failure. He's dead too. A previous Courier Journal investigation found the jail had a long history of overcrowding, accusations of medical negligence, and previous in-custody deaths in 2020. Staff eventually called EMS to the jail where they found Ms. Chappell lying prone on a bedroll on a cell floor. At 3:26 p.m., EMS took Chappell to the medical center at 3:52 p.m. and she died there less than 2 hours later. The police made no findings, no conclusions, and this was part of the prosecution's theory here, saying, well, the police made no conclusions as to the death. It added that an autopsy found the cause was probable toxicity with an unknown substance. Notes from an ER report previously stated there was concern the patient maybe ingested ethylene glycol or methanol. But the prosecutor's new report said initial forensic lab test results did not reveal any positive findings of significance as far as toxins in her body. Chappell's family has filed a federal lawsuit against the Jackson County Sheriff Rick Meyer, jail commander Chris Everhart, and 7 other jail employees. The suit remains open and ongoing. They killed this woman. Now, let's bring the humanity back in this, okay? You know, if those employees looked at her as a human being, and a human being is saying, I need medical attention, I'm throwing up blood, and your response is, well, let me call my sergeant. Sergeant gets a phone call, hey, Sarge, there's a person throwing up blood, I'm looking at them on the video, they've been in distress for hours, what should I do? She'll see the nurse in the morning. The lack of humanity. You see, that's extreme and gross negligence. That's criminal. That's criminal, damn it. And every single one of them should have their asses locked up. Now we're gonna follow this story, and we're gonna bring you names, we're gonna bring you information until there is justice in this story. They committed conspiracy murder. David, what are your thoughts here?
Well, this one is personally humiliating to me because I grew up in southern Indiana, in Monroe County, which is only about 45 minutes away from Jackson County. And while Monroe County, we were always taught was progressive, we were taught in schools, you look out for your fellow human beings, your strangers, regardless of their race, their color, their ethnicity, their gender. You treat everybody as if they're your own brother or sister. But we were warned, even in a progressive place like Monroe County, there's still some pockets of Indiana where people don't feel that way. And to me, here we are now, 50 years after I, first moved to Indiana. 50 years, there's still places in southern Indiana, which isn't poor. It's not poverty. They have plenty of resources in the state prison and the local jails. The fact that people would look at somebody who's in pain, who is dying, and not consider them to be a human being, is so beyond humiliating and embarrassing and frankly terrifying.